So my first impressions about TAMA Star drums were, man, it goes way back. So maybe about 4 years ago when I really got to start with the Star drums. I played the Babinga like back in the day, and I was touring this just demonstrating, and it was just a phenomenal sound. And I think Star drums in general just gave more richness to the drums that I usually use in the Star Classic range. But Star drums for me is, I mean, you can't get any better than that. It's just history. You can see the quality visually, and you can also hear the sound of, you know, how much time has been taken to make this, and seeing all these videos like in Japan and how the process is making these drums is so inspiring. And yeah, I'm really honored to be playing these drums now, you know. Star drums, amazing. So it's a difference between the TAMA Star Classic series and the TAMA Star drums, and for me it was always a case of curiosity when I was, you know, I'm predominantly known for using Star Classic drums all the time, so I mean I always use the Maple or the Babinga, and when I was listening to the Star, it was just, you know, this extra, you know, this extra power, the richness and the quality, and you know the amount of life it had in it. And for me, you know, there's a big difference. You can't really, you have to try it. You have to try the drums. It's really amazing the feeling that you get internally, and when you play it, it just gives you goosebumps. So Star Classic is still that beautiful character, you know, but when it comes to something like Star, it's got this almost like this mature sound, it's grown up, just truly a remarkable sound. I chose the beautiful Star Walnut kit, and I chose this because of the sound, the projection, the power, and the dynamic spectrum that I can have within this. It's just amazing for me. For me, I wanted to go a bit like crazy with the sizes this time, and just the drums in general that I got. If you look behind me, it's just, wow, I mean, it's stunning. It's a stunning finish, and I went for this color because it really does match my vision of what I see when I write music and the way I hear music, and it's a spectrum. So this is just beautiful, and you know, it's Japanese made, and it's just pure craftsmanship. For the sizes that I have here, so I have a 20 by 14 and a 24 by 14. These are shorter, these are very short depths, and that just reminds me of an old school thing. I've seen like old school drummers use these, and you know, I remember seeing like Simon Phillips have shorter bass drums, so they just project a bit more for me. And I always wanted to try a 24 inch, and it just really made me convert. So 24 inch is amazing, and 20 is just punchy, so it's good for my fusion and quick sounds. I have hyperdrive toms. I'm always keeping the hyperdrive on my journey because it just is quicker tuning, it's easier for me to place where I want it. So these ones here are 10 by 6.5 and also 12 by 7. To the floor toms, I've got a 15 by 10, and that 15 by 10 is very special. It's also a snare drum at the same time, so it's also in floor tom legs. This is very special to me because I've always wanted a deep snare, and knowing that I can use it for two purposes really helps me. I have a 16 by 14 floor tom and also an 18 by 16 floor tom. So those are just deeper sounds. They just take me to a bigger territory. Again, the 18 sounds like a gong to me, and when I play that, it just gives me this feeling internally. You feel that floor tom, and it just sounds like a gigantic gong. It's awesome. For the snare drum, finally, this main snare drum is a 13 by 7, and I've never had matching snare, a matching snare with the kit. So this time I actually went for it and said, let's see how it sounds, and it did exactly what I thought it would. And it projects. It's got great crack, and also it's got really nice depth to it as well. So that's why I got it by 7. 13-inch snares are my main ones because I like quicker movements around the snare, so to be able to have more sensitivity, I can control it a lot more, but it's just perfect for me. I choose TAMA drums because, wow, I mean, where do I go? I started back in 2005, 2006. Makes me feel very old. I used to use this TAMA Rockstar kit, and it was like very big sizes, and I remember saying to myself, these sizes are too big for me, and I just hoped one day, I could have my dream kit. And, it's all about that journey, just building up in that journey. And I have history with TAMA, so knowing that I've used this gear all my life, I've used TAMA drums all my life, and I choose that sound because my heroes used it. So I had like the Stuart Copeland, I had Stuart Copeland use it, and when I saw Billy Cobham play with them, and they just were my idols, Simon Phillips. And I used to just picture myself playing TAMA drums when I was like maybe 2-3 years old, and I was just watching these guys and I was watching these videos, and it was just a dream come true to know that one day that was a possibility for me to be in this position. And TAMA is just the sound for me. It's always been the sound for me, and I feel at home. And TAMA is just a very powerful sound in general. To be on the same roster as historical heroes and icons, and it's just an honor. So TAMA, I'm honored. Thank you so much.